Await no longer, greatness has arrived. Welcome to the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players, which I don't say this often enough. It's every week here we talk about all the PlayStation news that you ought to know about. With me, as always, is my co-host, the greatest co-host who ever was and ever will be, Mr. Kyle Stevenson. How are you, Kyle?
I'm doing great, Joe. Do you like my shirt?
I do, and it's like we didn't do this a second time around. Whoa,
I know.
Practice makes perfect. That you're wearing the Trophy Room shirt, I want to thank you so much. There's so many people are going out buying this shirt, and it vindicates me because Adam Leonard made an awesome design, and it's so incredible. The support for not just the Trophy Room, but of Bad Bit Games. We got Jonathan Brown, who did our intro music, the amazing intro music. If you're listening to this on SoundCloud or iTunes, he made my day the other day because he's just like hanging out with Jeffrey the Fireball. He took a picture of the shirt, made me real happy.
Yeah.
Oh man! But before we get into more self gratifying, I have to let the listeners know that there is 1 week left until Spider-Man PlayStation 4 comes out.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah, shoe be praised. Hallelujah. Can I get a hallelujah?
Hallelujah.
And what we're doing right now, if you haven't known, if you're a new listener just tuning in or been tuned out for the last couple of weeks, we're doing a Spider-Man giveaway. We're giving away not just one, but 2 copies of Spider-Man for the PlayStation 4. Now, there's also not just one, not just 2, but 3 different ways of winning a copy of Spider-Man for the PlayStation 4. First, you could go on PS Trophy Room on Twitter, follow us, like, and then retweet the pinned tweet. And then, if you want to double your chances, or you don't have Twitter, you don't believe in it, rate us 5 stars on iTunes, write us a review, and then you still have to use Twitter, so make it Twitter. Tweet us at PS Trophy Room, especially if you're in the UK or Canada, any country that's not the great US of A. Please give us a picture of your review because it's going to help us out, because if you're in the UK or Canada, where you guys don't have freedom apparently, I've already ruined this. I can't see the reviews, so that's why we need you to tweet it out. And then last but not least, if you are on YouTube and you're watching it right here, like, share, subscribe, comment, get you enrolled to win the giveaway that we'll announce on, Tuesday of next week, which I believe is the 5th? 4th. Look at me fucking up. So there you go. Those are your chances to win. Now, if you're on YouTube and you're just going to comment something, like first, no. That's not how it works. Midway through the show, I'm going to ask you guys a question. You will know when that time happens. I will say it loud and proud. And then, yeah, you type in your little answer, and then boom, I know that you listened. I know that you cared. I know that you put the time in. And so that's how you get enrolled. Now, you could have multiple entries. You could go on YouTube, you could follow us on Twitter, and you could rate us on iTunes to triple your chances of getting it. So that's the big promotion of the week. Kyle, before we talk about Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, before we talk about Cyberpunk, before we talk about even more Spider-Man news, what have you been playing, Kyle?
I've actually played quite a bit.
Joe.
Yeah.
You got 2 platinums this week, Kyle.
I got 2 platinums, not just this week, like in the past 2 days.
Yeah, it's nuts.
It's fantastic. One of those platinums came in Guacamelee 2, which I talked about last week. I was downloading while we recorded the show. Guacamelee 2 is just so fantastic. It is... Drinkbox outdid themselves with the first one. The first one was already one of my all-time favorites. The second one they just added to it, and they made it even more solid in the platforming. The humor is I posted a bunch of videos that I shared from my PS4 gameplay on my Twitter of just like subtle jokes in the background. Like you can switch between dimensions. And like there was a sign that said Lucha something, Lucha Unknown Battlegrounds, and then when you switched it was like a Fortnite joke. So it's like the same thing, but just in between dimensions. There's like Hollow Knight versus Shovel Knight in one.
That's cool.
Yeah, and they have like posters of like missing cat, and it's obviously Garfield. Like it's just little jokes that if you don't pay enough attention, you won't get. But if you just like take in all the details of the beautiful artwork, the music's incredible. It's just go play the game. It's so well worth your $20, whatever it is.
I think it's
enjoy
on PSN, so go get it.
Oh, perfect. Oh, if you have Plus, I think you have the discount.
Yeah, you get the discount, so I think it's
absolutely.
like $17.
It's definitely worth it.
Yeah.
And then
what's the other game?
The other game is Donut County.
Please tell me what this game is.
Do you not know what this game is, Joe?
It looked really weird, and I didn't get it. But please tell me what this game is and what it's
I don't
about.
want to give too much away because the story is actually kind of it's kind of cool. It's only like a 2-hour game.
All right.
You can get through it in a single sitting. Basically, you control a raccoon. You actually don't control a raccoon. The game is about a raccoon controlling a hole in the ground. And you suck objects through the hole, and the hole gets bigger, and you can suck more objects in. And you can,
just insert that anywhere.
Yeah.
Kyle ends a sentence from here on out. Just
you got it.
That, yeah.
That's awesome. And you could use that to like solve puzzles. There's like a catapult thing where you can chuck garbage out of the hole, hit levers and stuff. It's got some puzzles. It's short. It's fun. It's quirky. The art style is great.
How much is that one?
I think $10.
$10. Okay.
It's an easy platinum for you trophy hunters out there. It's great. I wish there was more. Our good friend Trevor Starkey on Twitter said the same thing. Like what I was thinking was, it's fun. It's a great time. Just wish it was a little longer and they used the puzzles a little bit more.
Okay.
But it's an Annapurna game. Annapurna Interactive. I think the creator's name is Ben Esposito. It's a very small team. Give it a shot.
Okay. And how easy are both? Because you got the platinum in Guacamelee. And so we know Donut County is easy. What about Guacamelee? Is that trophy list hard or?
The trophy list isn't too terrible. It's just there's a certain part of the game where you have to collect like these chicken keys.
Okay.
Where it tests your every single ability in the game and how well you can execute it. And the platforming, you need to be super precise. If you want to check out that platforming video, that's definitely on my Twitter, at HooDatNinja73.
Yo, it looked insane.
Because you had to stay in one of the dimensions, and if you didn't stay in that dimension, everything was filled with lava, and obviously you can't touch it. Right. And it's just like, that alone took me an hour. And that's one of 5 different types of like hardcore things.
Shit, okay.
Yeah, the game is... I think out of 10, I would say the platinum is probably about like a 7.5, 8.
Okay.
It's definitely challenging, but it's well worth it.
Can you get it done in one sitting or 2?
No, you have to beat the game once, and then it unlocks hard mode, and then you have to beat it in hard mode.
And how long is the story in that one?
It took me, after 100%ing all the areas, which is a requirement for the trophy, 12 hours or so.
All right, not terrible.
But that's including the hour that I kept dying of the thing. So, if you get it in one shot, it's not bad.
Okay, cool. So, I've been playing, and listen, we all know I've been playing Fortnite.
Yeah.
You could say that I got, duo wins in duos with my friend Ducey. I can say that because it's true. I can say that the game is no longer a challenge. I have unlocked everything. I've gotten to level 100. I got all the weekly challenges done. I look badass. That should just be standard. Okay, at this point, you should know Joseph's real good at video games. The second thing you should know is that I played some Overwatch with my good friend Aaron Doherty and Tammy Ryan, and I love them both. They're the most beautiful power couple of the Make Us Better community, of the Trophy Room community, and of all the land. I'll be honest, and I stole that line, but I don't care. And then I also played it with Dude, and he was there, and he kicked ass as well. So I've been playing some games, but I've been really busy because this last Saturday, I was at Next Level Games over there in South Jersey. Look them up, Nick Militia's store. Fantastic store. Nick is a sweetheart of an individual. I got the Witcher 3 statue for a pretty penny, for $65.
Wow.
It was so awesome. So I had
That's the one where he's fighting the
Griffin.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I had the Steelbook because one day I just walked into a GameStop. My friends was like, "Here, someone traded in The Witcher. I know, it's a stupid idea, and it's a Steelbook. Here, you want it?" I was like, "Yes." And then now I have everything. Now I have the whole collection. So I'm excited. And when we move into our new studio, which you will see in about a month and a half, you're gonna see it there. I'm super excited. And then we did a 4-hour Nintendo Talk Live, which if you don't know what Nintendo Talk is, it is a show where my friend Bobby the Nintendo Guru sits down with a different guest every single week and they talk about Nintendo and stuff. And me being the PlayStation guy, we had an awesome talk about crossplay. I took my shirt off at the end. Go watch it. It's very arousing. So with that, that's what I've been doing. But I gotta tell you, Kyle, I need to talk about Cyberpunk 2077.
I do too. You know what's funny about this show is yesterday when it was released, the video was released, I was like, Joe, have you seen it yet? It's like, and you responded with, I'm making a video as we speak.
Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, that video didn't come to fruition because
that's fine.
My Scarlet Solo died. And that got me very depressed.
That stinks. Yeah. But it just, I was like, I need to talk to somebody about this. And thank God we recorded the next day because, boy, oh boy.
Has been nuts about this game. Everybody who's come through and watched this gameplay demo, everybody walks away like, this thing is the second coming of Christ. Mm-hmm. This thing is going to change how we feel about video games. This thing is, this is it. This is going to be something.
Yep.
And even people coming out of Gamescom, because they were there too, everybody's like, this is amazing. And I'll be honest with you, Kyle.
Yeah.
I'm not I played The Witcher 3. Obviously, I enjoyed The Witcher 3. I do think it's one of the best games of this generation, right behind Bloodborne, the game of the generation. But I know and I respect CD Projekt Red. They're a great studio. I hopped on the bandwagon. So I can't say, like, I've been here since day one. Mm-hmm. I'm so excited, CD Projekt Red, because I don't know their whole repertoire of games and what they've worked on, to be completely honest. But I understand with their recent game, like with The Witcher 3, it's put them on the map of being one of the premier independent developers. So coming off of Cyberpunk, I'm going to be real with you too. I've seen both of the trailers during E3. They didn't really move the needle that much for me.
Oh, interesting.
Like, because to me, games are always in development hell, right? True. I can't get it. Like, even with Red Dead Redemption 2, I got excited when we saw the gameplay trailer.
Yeah.
None of the trailers were doing it for me. Mm-hmm. And so, finally, I see gameplay and I'm on board. So, with that, CD Projekt Red must think that they are the bee's knees because they did something crazy. I've never seen a developer do this before.
Well, it kind of goes in line with what they did at E3 when they had, like, the whole hacking Microsoft's press conference, and they had just keys for Witcher 3 Complete Edition in the text. Like, that's kind of like their MO.
Yeah, so they're what I really like about CD Projekt Red is that they're coming off not cocky but confident. Yeah. And they're also not they're not teasing, their customers, right? They're known when they do their PR speak to talk to you like you're another person. Like, they're not a corporate entity. I'm me, and I'm talking to you, right? Mm-hmm. So they come out with the same demo that they've showed everybody at E3, everybody at Gamescom, and they make well aware. Like, you even see it on the screen, and they say it at least over a bunch
of times. Yeah.
This is a work in progress. Things that will be in this game. Some things won't be in the game at launch. Some things will look totally different. This is a work in progress. 48-minute long gameplay trailer. I want you to pick one thing. First off, your thoughts going into it, and then one thing that you got hyped. We each have three. Yeah. We'll throw it back to each other.
Well, before seeing this 48-minute delight, as I like to call it, okay. I was very high on it because of that first E3 trailer. It sold me on the aesthetic, and I love sci-fi type of settings and games, and knowing it how detail-oriented CD Projekt Red is, I was like, yes, I'm all in. I'm excited to see what they do with a first-person perspective type of game, especially like a shooter. Mm-hmm. Knowing that Witcher and all their other games have been like RPGs.
Well, they said in this, it is totally 100% an RPG.
Yeah. I meant from like a first-person
shooter.
Type of, yeah. So I was already I was more sold on it than you were.
Okay.
But man, oh man, this 48-minute video is something. It is very special.
And how so? What's that thing that makes it special?
Oh man, it just, you can see the care and the love in everything that was in there. Seeing it, how the dialogue works, and just like small details where, like, in order for you to pick an option, you have to be looking at the character.
Oh wow,
like,
I didn't even recognize that.
That's something I noticed. Like, they would gray out if you weren't looking at the character that was speaking. The fact that they, you know, you can drive in the game, and both first person and third person looks great. The skills, the way you unlock abilities, just from that small little thing where you go to the Ripper docks, and like you can pick them, and then you actually see, instead of just like you instantly get them, you can see the doctor actually, you know, installing them into you, which is crazy. It's and the way you equip things before you went out on the mission. Yeah. Like you have to go collect your gun, then you go to the closet and pick which outfit you wear, and then certain outfits can give you street cred, which is important in this universe,
right?
As well as other bonuses. Yeah, like it oozes charisma and personality, and that's what I want from a game. I said it to myself while I was watching, like, this is the Kyle game. This is like my type of game. I want it now.
My thing, when I first watched the first 5 minutes, was great. It was great, but I was thinking, first off, customization is sick. I mean, just surface level, creating your character. The first thing I saw, hair. Hair looks insanely insane. It looks awesome. It looks pretty damn real. Now, is it the best thing I've ever seen? Maybe. I'll be honest. Freaking maybe. It looked really great. I knew right off the offset, looking at the chick, I'm going to play as the chick just because of the hair. And it's going to be first person most of the time. But dude, her hair looked amazing. Now, the gameplay in the beginning, I was like, okay, this kind of feels like a Fallout mixed with, because, you know, Fallout's also an RPG, but mixed with the fluidity of a Doom. So I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. And then they introduced bullet time, and Kyle, I was immediately fucking in.
Yeah.
But the really awesome thing was when they were you're walking out of the building, right? And you're about to enter the city, and the narrator, they do a great job of narrating this game. They go, our mission, as of right now, is to make sure that you never hit a loading screen. Yeah. And then you turn, and there's a crowd of people. I mean, the crowd is. It looks like
the famous crossing in Japan, whatever that's called. Yeah, no, I can't think of it.
But you're totally right. It looks like a city. Yeah, like, it looks like people inhabit this place so many times in a video game, right? Like Whiterun, for example, in Skyrim. This is supposed to be some big city. It kind of feels just like a small little village. It doesn't feel like this huge thing of importance. Like, I'm going to throw out a huge nerdy reference, but like in World of Warcraft, Goldshire, there's an inn, a blacksmith, and a house. And that's supposed to be a village. Like, where do all these NPCs sleep? And the crazy thing, the thing that's really blowing my mind out of everything I've seen, is that from what they've said, is every individual will have a day and night cycle.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck type of game are we dealing with?
That is something. While I was watching, I was like, yeah, this looks great and all. Like, I love the way it looks and everything, but man, I wish they did this demo at nighttime. I want to see what that city looks like at night.
Yeah. So, okay, what's the next thing that got you really pumped?
Oh boy. Man, it's hard to put into words because I loved every second of it.
Yeah, it was awesome.
The way the narrator was talking about how the mission would change. Because they do a mission at the end where you're trying to get this bot for, I guess, I forgot what they're called, but like the major crime boss of the city. One of the major ones. It's
pretty much, this whole quest is you're working with Rick Ross.
Yes, absolutely.
And stop eating pears. And the cool thing is, you get to every conversation, like, they stop, their sentence stops, and then you interject with something, and it changes the narrative of that story.
Something I just thought of that is specific to that conversation in that car. Yeah. Did you notice how it wasn't like like the girl character got in the car, they had this whole conversation, and then they actually dropped her off away from where she was. Like, you were on that journey in that car, and you're in this whole new place, and it's, oh my god, it was great. It's a good way for have the no loading screen thing.
Yeah, and I think just in that quest alone, if I'm just thinking about it right, there's like 30 different ways that quest could have gone. It was just one quest. One quest. It was nuts. For me, it's the little things, Kyle. For me, the second thing that got me really excited was when, so the first gang that you fight, they want revenge. So the van turns up, kind of like in fucking Back to the Future, right? It's like, it's the Iranians! And instead of, you gave him a pinball machine, and now he's about to shoot that RPG at you? Well, here's the deal. You have a gunfight, and you're just telling your Mexican hombre over there, he's a bad hombre, by the way. Yeah. And he's like, take the wheel, and you get out of the car, and you start shooting back with your awesome, like, automatic pistol thing, which is badass. You shoot one of the guys dead. He falls out of the van. And you know how in video games, it's just, you're just gliding over it, right? You actually feel the bump. Like you just ran over a body. And that does not happen much in video games. And when it does, it's kind of like, that's a wrong sound I made. But like, it just feels like a bump. This one actually felt like you were hitting something. And you were taking it along for the ride a little bit. And even before you got in the car, you saw someone kind of like scouting out your car too, and kind of just walking away. And your Mexican hombre over there, I'll just call him Bad Hombre. Bad Hombre is just like, I don't trust that guy. And you're like, it's probably nothing. And he was a scout. Like, it was nuts. What was the third and final thing?
I think when they go to this hideout on the main mission that they showed, and they unlocked all the abilities that a character could have. Oh boy, the ability to, there's one of the abilities they unlocked was where you can shoot bullets and they can ricochet off the wall and angle and hit people, which is like, why is this the first game that I can think of that does this? And you can actually use it like strategically. Like, they had her hiding behind cover, shooting around the cover and bouncing off a wall and hitting somebody, which is perfect. And then the epic loot gun that they found, where it just tracks people and the bullet's home. Yep. No matter where you aim, it just hits everybody, which is crazy.
And when it fires, it looks like a ballista.
The bladed arms. Whew. Oh man. The game, while I was watching it, when I saw like picking up the different guns and it had like epic or legendary, there's probably different types of guns and loot, and just the abilities, it reminded me of Borderlands in a way. Same type of setting, and I love Borderlands. So maybe that's why I love it. Love this so much, but man, it's special. It's real special.
Here's another thing I really like. So we're going to talk about the choices again, right? Yeah. So first you talk to that lady who like beats the shit out of you when you're trying to make this
corporate
deal.
Lady?
The corporate lady. Yeah. We'll just call her, I don't know, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, because she's angry just like, and she lies to you.
Yes, she does.
Oh my god, how fitting. And so like, you try to take the diplomatic way out of it. And the one thing that I really love is like a lot of RPGs, they're like, you can always talk your way out of every situation. And in Cyberpunk, you can't. It's never cut and dry. There's always a shade of gray, it seems. So when you talk your way out of Sarah Huckabee Sanders, and she gives you this chip to buy the bot, you have the option. Do I want to take these credits and just storm I'm just going to call it a castle myself? Yep. Do I want to buy the bot from these weird sketchy dudes? Or do I just want to, what was it? What was the third option?
It was steal the bot, keep the money for yourself.
There you go.
Buy the bot outright.
Yeah.
Or just not even go and talk to her, really.
Yeah. And so, like, you go in and you're talking your way out of the situation. It's really tense. Like, you feel it. You feel that this won't go your way. Like, even when the guy's like, these people are really high level than you, I was like, well, fucking try me.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm about to take this guy's gun, blow his dumb face off. But then, like, you're in the really sticky situation with the guys you're trying to buy the bot from, and you actually have the opportunity just to shoot the boss that you fight at the end, right in the face and just evade everything. Which I thought was super awesome. And instead, like, Sarah Huckabee Sanders betrays you. Oh my goodness, no way. Couldn't see that coming. And you couldn't talk yourself out of that situation. Things aren't as cut and dry as they seem. So, to me, this game.
Yeah, it's when that happened. So basically, you in the way they played it is you handed over the credit chip. It was 50,000 units or whatever they called their money in there to buy the bot.
Eddies, I think.
Eddies, yeah. He puts the boss of the gang, whatever. I think his name is Royce. I think he puts the chip in, and basically there's a virus on it, and it knocks out everything, and that's when shit hits the fan, and you know just messing up fools like taking the shotgun and shooting the legs off, and then their bodies fall on the ground. Oh my god!
I saw that on Twitter, like because I had a family emergency, so I had to stop halfway through. And I was like, "Whoa, this is sick!" But then actually hearing it, like when you blow this guy's fucking legs off,
he starts crying. He's like,
"Jesus Christ, my fucking
yeah." But when that happened and the virus took out all the defenses, I could see like what would happen if you decided to keep that money for yourself. Yeah. If you gave that chip to somebody and the virus is on that, what would you use that at certain stores, and each store will get hit by the virus? And then what happens if that store gets hit? Like, how far does it go?
Yeah. Whew. Oh my
when
God.
do you think this game comes out, Joe? Because they say
question.
It's a work in progress and that everything might not look the same. It looked pretty good. I'm sure there's more environments and stuff they need to make, but
I think with the amount they've shown, I think we're going to see one more E3 trailer. I think they've talked about how the game it's getting there. So I think, first off, I think they're in no rush. They also have stated this is for the PlayStation 4. This is for the Xbox One.
Yep.
But how? I'm just looking at this game. Like, how?
Do we see another trailer at Game Awards in December?
If she wills it, it will happen. That's all I can say. Honestly, I think end next year, 2019. I think this game comes out.
Be the big fall game.
Maybe I think this game can be their big fall game.
Yeah.
I don't know who's publishing this, and maybe it's WB again. But honestly, CD Projekt Red could pick a publisher and pick the price, and I think they got something. I really do. I'm going to skip the news story that we have on the notes here, and I'm going to get to the brass
CD
tacks.
Projekt Red is publishing it themselves.
Wow. Okay. Awesome. Yeah. No, that's great. Because I want them to have every penny. Like they deserve all
Absolutely.
of it. Kyle.
Yeah.
Next topic. Okay.
Sure.
We're too excited for this game. Go watch the 48-minute thing. I don't care if you got Tim Wolf. Listen. All right. We're going into Overdrive here, sponsored by Sean Caprizi Xbox Drive. Just take out your phone, whip it out. You're in traffic, whatever it is. Just watch this 40-minute trailer, okay?
Yeah.
Just whatever the case may be. Do what you need to. Watch this. Watch it. Just say, go to work, say you got to take a big poo. Take a 48-minute poo. Sit there, watch this.
Usually I stop Joe when he says this, but in this case, no. Do whatever you can to watch this video. It needs to be done.
Talk about hype. I want this episode to be the episode of hype, Kyle. I want this episode to be the epitome of hype. And I think Alex O'Neill, who also rated us 5 stars and wrote a review, thank you, Alex.
Oh, thanks, Alex.
He asked a question, I think, a couple weeks back of what our top 5 games are coming out this holiday season. And because this week was relatively slow in terms of news, I'm going to use this question right here, right now. Okay. So, Kyle, I'm going to go first you and then me. What is your 5th most hyped game that's coming out for the holiday season?
Okay. My 5th most would be Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Okay, why? That's a game I haven't heard much about since E3.
Yeah, it's the fact that they're mass affecting Assassin's Creed. Like, the fact that you have dialogue options, and you have more say into what kind of character you're going to be. The fact that you can play as a female and have that choice between male and female is awesome. I know there was Liberation, but that was just a female-centric installment of the franchise. This one you actually have the choice, which is great. That being said, I'm going to be playing as the female assassin because that's the correct choice.
Do you typically play as a lady?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Why? Because you like to see what's running around behind you?
No, it's just that, I'm a guy in real life. I want to play as it's a video game. Yeah. To spend belief and play as a different type of character.
No, that's the same way kind of how I feel about it. Yeah. Let's be honest. If we got to pick, I'd be a lady for a day.
Yeah.
And I'd be honking them all day long. You know what I'm saying? I would see what I could get away with.
Anyway,
I'd be wearing all the lowest cuts. Yeah, you know what? Let me dig my own grave.
Yeah. And then I like the setting of Odyssey. I like the Greece setting, and because Origins it was a great game, but it didn't click with me as an Assassin's Creed fan.
Right.
Like I still haven't finished it, but I feel like Odyssey will get me back in the mood for it.
That's a shame because Luke Lore loves it, but I understand targeting in Odyssey was a bit clunky to me. It tried to be Souls light,
and there's a lot of sand. There's a lot of sand
everywhere. Yeah, so I understand. Yeah, I pick a female in video games as well, and I know this sounds cliche. I know this sounds like I'm a little snowflake. Oh, no. But I play as a white dude all the time in video games, so it's my way of kind of shaking it up. Mm-hmm. I can only play a dude so many times. I'm like, let me have a small, strong, badass chick for once.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My number 5. Now, this is not PlayStation centric, and I apologize, and I deserve it all. Kyle, I deserve the biggest punishment.
I agree.
Pokemon Let's Fucking Go Pikachu. Because if you chose Eevee, you can't even evolve this Eevee.
Is that an import title version of it? Pokemon Let's Fucking Go? Is that from a different country?
Actually, I typed in the notes. Let's fucking go, bro. Oh, man. Thank God you guys voted. 81%. He said, let Joe curse. He needs a curse. But yeah, no. Pokemon Let's Go. I love Pokemon. I love, I love the PlayStation Vita 2. And so, there you go. It excites me because it's a game I'm going to be picking up and dropping when I'm in class or I'm waiting for something. Because Tuesdays are going to be my big days over there at college. So anywhere I can, I want something simple. And also, you get to buy a Pokeball. You get to trap.
Yeah.
You get to trap one of these little turds in this ball. Okay, it's like your mini Guantanamo Bay of torture for this little pocket monster. And that's where I'm going to put Eevee because I'm going to shake.
I so hope you bring that to your college classes and the noises happen during lectures.
Oh, I'll tell them.
Excuse my Eevee.
Excuse it. I'm just battling the shit out of it. I'm going to be a good dad because every time my baby's going to cry, I'm going to just shake it. Don't do that.
Don't do that. I'll stop you there for that one. Don't do that.
Shout out. Oh, sorry. You're number 4.
Yeah. Thanks, Joe. My number 4 is Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Why? Why is it Shadow of the Tomb Raider?
Why? Because I know a couple weeks ago I said Rise of the Tomb Raider wasn't entirely my cup of tea.
Right.
But from what I've seen of the game at E3, and I like action games, open world slash action games, and I love the new Lara Croft as a character. I think she's like the perfect version of Lara in my eyes.
Yeah, she's a cutie.
Yeah, it looks great. It looks like it's more of the same, and I know the stealth action stuff we saw at E3 during, I think it was the Square Enix conference, actually, they showed that off. That actually looked pretty cool. It looked ruthless. It looked awesome, so I'm down to go back in.
Kyle, you know what I spent 1 hour doing today?
I have an idea. Did it have something to do with trying to pre-order something?
Yep. Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, the Ultimate Edition. I finally have it. It's in my possession. I have pre-ordered it. Unless Amazon, just like typical fucking Amazon.
Yeah.
They probably ship it on the wrong day. They'll probably cancel it. But you know what? So far, so good. Smooth sailing so far, kind of. Yeah, no, I'm excited for that. I'm excited because there's not going to be Waluigi. You all need to let go of this hope. Let it die. Kill it if you have to.
What if he's like the main secret final boss of whatever the single player thing is?
Honestly, I hope Crash is in it so that we can show what a good fighter looks like. That's why I'm excited for Super Smash Brothers.
Fair enough.
Let's get Crash in there. Dude, I want him to talk shit to Mario and beat his ass because that's what Crash does.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. That's why I want it. You know.
Fair.
What's your number 3? I know it, and it irks me.
It irks you that it's at 3?
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption 2 is my number 3. Again, you know this show, and people who've listened to this show know I have not played Red Dead Redemption like more than an hour or so. But I was with you. The beginning trailers for this game, while pretty and gorgeous, didn't sell me on it. But that last, I think it's the first part of many, I think, of like what the gameplay is going to be. It sold me on it. I am in. I'm excited to try it. I'm excited to hopefully get a Western accent and come on here. We'll do an all cowboy version of the show. I don't know. It's like
I will get a hat. Okay, I'll get one of those cowboy hats.
I shouldn't have said anything.
I probably have a shotgun revolver somewhere.
Yeah, so I'm excited to play it. It looks Rockstar makes good games, so and it looks good. Why does it irk you that it's at 3 though, Joe? Why is 3? It's too low? Okay.
Fallout 76. Now, Joe, you weren't excited for this game. What's going on? Actually, since what they've talked about in QuakeCon, I'm back up on this game. I'm willing to give the beta a shot. I'm willing to I'm interested. I want to see what this game is. It's more my curiosity than anything. And knowing that I'm going to be playing mostly Spider-Man and Red Dead Redemption, that's why it's number 3.
Gotcha.
I needed to find that was my. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. That's my filler one, but I am interested.
Yeah.
Again, QuakeCon's got me a little bit more hopeful. I'm gonna try out the beta. So, what's your number 2?
My number 2 was actually not on my list. It actually bumps off Spyro.
Oh my goodness.
So my number 2 is Dragon Quest XI. And I was already super excited for it because I love good old-fashioned turn-based RPGs. Sure. But just watching Jared Petty's IGN review and reading Gotaku's review, which I put a quote in the notes, that Dragon Quest XI is the best game in the 32-year-old series, which is extremely high praise because Dragon Quest is like top tier JRPG level games. Okay. And for this reviewer on Kotaku to say it's the best one in 32-year span has me super excited. And
that's coming out on the 4th, right?
Yeah, next week, next Tuesday.
Okay.
Cool. It's the first main single player RPG in like 8 years in the Dragon Quest series. 10 was an MMO. So I'm excited to hop in and kill some slimes.
Okay. I know a lot of people in the Make Us Better community, like Callow, is super excited for this game. I think Callow bought a PlayStation 4 just for this game. So I'm excited for him. I'm excited for him, but I'm not a fucking nerd. That's why my number 2, Kyle, is let me get my accent going here.
Oh boy.
Red Dead Redemption 2. The sequel to one of my favorite games of all time. I like to be a cowboy. Cowboy movies are some of my favorite, you might add. I love Tombstone. That's one of my favorites. But Red Dead Redemption is one of the games I've sunk the most hours into, like a nice bison sandwich on a Sunday morning.
Wow.
I love Red Dead Redemption.
You're giving me like weird tingles on my spine.
Now let me tell you something, boy. I'm talking. And when the host talks, the co-host listens, by God. Now, I wasn't like one of these city folk back in a year ago when everybody was a hooting and a hollering about this here game. Because I knew it was going to get delayed. I knew it was going to get delayed more than once. And by God, was I right like a turkey sandwich on a Thursday morning. But by God, when I saw it, I keep going with this accent until I do not have voice in my breath.
Or you run out of meat sandwiches in days?
I will run out of a sandwich like a Reuben on a Tuesday evening. But when I saw that gameplay, my jaw dropped. When I saw the dead-eye camera, and they go, the next trailer we gonna show you. Boy, listen here, listen good. We gonna show you the combat of this video game. And I was, by golly jeez, excited. So now I'm officially excited for Red Dead Redemption 2. The sequel to one of my favorite all-time games ever made. By that here Rockstar Games. Now, Kyle, I may be just a small-time podcaster, but I do declare that our number one is the same number one.
Yeah, it is. Are you going to do this voice for the rest of the episode?
I might just do that.
Fair enough.
I can't stop it. Would you rather this voice, or would you rather...
Oh, God, no, stop.
Kyle? Let's have fun, Kyle. What's the matter?
Do any other PlayStation podcasts need a co-host? Because I'm looking.
Kyle, what's your number one? Because it's my number one.
It's the same as yours. It's Spider-Man. We get to play it next week, Joe.
Oh, I'm so excited, Kyle.
We're
I'm
so damn
excited.
close. I have gone on media blackout since E3 for the most part.
I saw an awesome GIF of him traversing through the city.
I don't need to see it. I know I'm going to be excited.
It's just 2 swings, and I'm just like, God damn. I'm going to be doing this shit for fucking hours.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just swinging around the city.
Oh my
just
God.
trying to wave to everybody on the street. That's my goal. Mm-hmm. Oh God, it's yeah. I want it.
Yeah,
and it's only a week away.
God, it's just dude, this game, man. Yeah, we're a week away at this point, and I want to play something called the guessing game.
Sure.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
So next week we're going to talk about where we think this game's going to land in terms of rating wise for ourselves. Mm-hmm. What do you think? Because we don't know when the embargo lifts. But
actually, I think I do know.
Oh, when do you know?
I think it's September 4th.
September 4th. And that's when this podcast airs. So,
yeah.
Excellent question here, Kyle.
Yeah.
What do you think the review score? Metacritic-wise, not user reviews, because those are useless garbage. Because you're going to get so many Xbox guys, why was this a third-party game? Oh, why did I choose a bad system to play on? Oh, no. I want an Iron Man game made by 343. What do you think, to get those dum-dums out of your head, what do you think Spider-Man's gonna land on?
Oh man, I'm gonna shoot high. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say a 94.
That's like God of War levels.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think it's gonna hit it.
Well, by God, I'm gonna shoot a little lower than that, boy.
All right.
Now, I may be a Texan man with a very strong and very poor southern drawl.
All right, what sandwich are you eating?
I'm eating a egg sandwich.
Oh, okay.
On a Friday. It's a Friday appetizer.
Afternoon?
No, Friday, maybe midday. I reckon it's about, I don't know, 2:15 in the afternoon, and I just
could have sworn you were going to say high noon.
Actually, let me retract that statement. Good to say. It's a high noon, and I need an egg sandwich. An egg salad sandwich, by God. I'm going to say it's going to be somewhere in the 80s. I'm going to say 85, 86.
All right.
That's what I'm going to say. But you said 94, so I'm going to say 82.
All right. Wow. Okay.
I think it's going to be great. I think what I'm trying to do is level my expectations because I do not want a scenario where I'm thinking this has got to be a 10. because it's not. Right? I need to level my expectations here. And here comes the part of the show that I was telling you guys in the beginning. Guys, I want to know, A, either what is your top 5 holiday games for this holiday season, which is 2018, believe it or not, or B, or maybe even both. You can do both if you want to. I'm not gonna force you. What do you think, Metacritic wise, what rating will Spider-Man get? That's my question for you. So with that, let's get to our next story here. I've got a lot of Onimusha talk. Okay?
Yeah.
I don't know what Onimusha is. Saw the trailer, and I'll be honest with you guys. Again, PlayStation Podcast made by the players for the players, but I'm not going to bullshit you. I'm excited. Onimusha Warlords comes to PlayStation 4 January 15th. This comes through the PlayStation blog itself. Shuhei Yoshida wrote this himself. It may not say that on the title because he wants to be humble, but it has been over 17 years since Onimusha Warlords first appeared on the PlayStation 2, kicking off a beloved series that spawned sequels and spin-offs, full, intense sword fights, duty-bound warriors, and demons, determined to envelop the world in darkness. Selling more than 2 million copies worldwide on the PlayStation 2, holy crap, sixth generation, that's big numbers. We're proud to announce Onimusha Warlords is coming to the PlayStation 4 with a host of features that will enhance your samurai adventure. It will come out January 15th, 2019 at the MSRP of $19.99 in North America, land of the free, home of the brave. You can pre-order the physical edition version right now, while the digital version will be available at a later date. In Europe, its only digital version is available. I am so sorry. Hey, Kyle.
Yeah.
Are you ready to step into the shoes of a samurai?
Yes, I've been waiting years for this to happen. I love the PS2 Onimusha games.
Yeah?
I have very vivid memories of playing through them at Thanksgiving break one year from school. Cool. And this is a remaster of the first, and this excites me that I get to relive it, but it's Capcom testing the waters to see if we want a new entry. And yes, please. You know what else is exciting? And I almost mentioned this when you were saying your top 5 games. We always say we talk about other systems here. Onimusha Warlords Remaster is coming out on the Switch. And so what do you think that means for the samurai character to appear in Smash?
Listen, man, they beat us enough with PlayStation Battle Royales. Oh, sorry.
I'm just saying.
I don't want it. It doesn't belong on the Switch. I know it. You know it.
I know it.
My bigger question to you is, at $19.99, what do we expect out of this? Do we just expect an enhanced version? Like just HD, no touch-up of anything else?
Probably. There's probably trophies. I think it's fine. Okay.
Hey, Kyle, I got some Flash news. Let's move off of Onimusha. First off, is this a day one purchase for you?
Oh, yeah.
Hype levels for this?
Yeah, very high.
Okay. All right, same here. I'm going to buy it. It's $20.
Yeah.
Let me roll the dice.
You've never played him before?
Never played him in my life.
I think you're going to love it.
Yeah?
I really do.
Now, I'm going to go back here. I'm going to do a segment. We've done this a few times on the show. Just like the Flash sales, we got some Flash news. These aren't the big topics, but it's something noteworthy that we ought to know about. And that is, first and foremost, no plans for microtransactions in Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. That comes out of Push Square. That comes out of the Activision representative. A lot of people were concerned because they saw Activision as the publisher. No need to fret. This game will be microtransaction free. No bullshit. On board with that. It's from software, kind of just like how CD Projekt Red is. They kind of could call the shots. I believe someone told me, and please quote me if this is wrong, but they publish their own games in Japan. So they just go to publishers outside of Japan to help them push the game out. So that's why they have Activision. It's probably different in Europe, but that's what you ought to know. No microtransactions. And then the second thing, which I do want your input, Kyle, is that there's going to be a God of War 4 novelization. Mm-hmm. And who's going to be the narrator is the voice of Mimir as the voice of Mimir.
That's awesome.
And the Arthur is J.M. Barlog, a.k.a. Corey's Pepper.
That's, it gives me the warm, fuzzy feeling. Like, right? It's so nice.
Yeah, it's like a father-son collab about a story about a father and a son. I watched the last boss fight of that game at work, and it was just, man. That Atreus part, it's badass, man. It's badass. Hey, also, for Flash News, and this comes out the last piece of it, PlayStation 4 firmware update 6.0 will improve the PlayStation Store search. You know how it's the dumb tile search? Now you just get a nice little keyboard. You could search by publisher. Everything's fixed. And apparently it's live right now, so you could check out that portion of the update. So that's been your Flash News, brought to you by Make Us Better. It's Patreon, patreon.com/Make Us Better. And I want to thank everybody who comes and supports us at first the platinum executive producer level, Corey Hicks over at twitch.tv/chicks_18. It's not what you think, but equally as amazing, Mr. Mark Moody over at youtube.com/outoflies, or gold executive producers, Mike BC and Panache Malloy, executive producers, Stephen Afiete. And I know I keep on mispronouncing it, but you know what? I am sorry. Joey Splats, Kara Underwood, Dante Bellini Jr., Jared Guthart. And people say I mispronounce that too. My friend, that's his last name. Don't yell at me. But his Twitter is highly intelligent, which is amazing. Okay? It's amazing. And I'm sorry. Slap me, Sean Capri. I double dog dare you. Dude427, Kevin Austin, Joshua Bloodborne, Tammy Ryan, Robbie Bobby Miller himself, Tim Ulf, Martini Jean, David Ray, Jesse Armstrong. Thank you all for supporting us. You keep the show running. You know that we've been having audio problems, and it's because of your patronage that we're able to have fixed this problem. It's why we have the show this week, so I can't thank you enough. And with that, we get into the next bit of news. It's actually our last bit of news, and that is July 2018 NPD numbers. PlayStation 4 was number 1 for 5 months in a row until July 2018, where the Switch finally knocked it off because of games like Octopath Traveler coming out and it being a slow game release for PlayStation. Don't know why I had a brain fart on that. So my first things first, I see a lot of people parading around, PlayStation, we're number 1. Screw you guys. I got a question for you. Why do we as gamers care about sales figures so damn much?
Yeah, it's something I didn't think about until I was reading the show notes, and this question was in there. I thought to myself, why do we? It's something that we don't get a cut in the sales numbers,
right?
But I feel like it's kind of like being a fan of a sports team. It's you have stake in that brand, and you want to see them succeed because that's where your loyalty is,
right?
And it's nice to have a feeling that you made a good choice, I guess.
Okay, it's kind of, it's like the team mentality.
Yeah.
And it's also, validating your purchase. Yep. I'm with you as well. Also, it's weird because the Switch came out last year. Everybody's talking about how big of a success it is, but PlayStation still selling like hotcakes. Like, it's still beating the Nintendo Switch.
Not just that, Joe.
Yeah.
Number 2 on the game lineup is still Grand Theft Auto 5. How?
I don't know.
Does everyone in the world just own a copy of GTA 5 now?
By this point, yeah.
Are there more copies of GTA 5 than people that are alive on Earth? Because it feels like it.
I think we're about to uncover a hidden conspiracy, sure.
Oh, boy.
And now we have a question here from Antonio Guillen. Okay, are you ready for this one?
I am ready for this one.
Because it was, now if I was you, should PlayStation offer a PlayStation Access program? If you guys don't know, Xbox is getting pretty desperate over there by selling you Xbox Ones at incredibly discounted prices, and now they're bundling either an Xbox One Slim or an Xbox One X with Game Pass, with Xbox Live, for I believe the price for the S is $24.99, and for the X it's $34.99 for every single month you own it. This is weird. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It is weird.
This is really weird. So what was your thoughts on that before we talk about should PlayStation do the same thing? Do you see a value here? First off, you have to get these, you participate through the Microsoft brick and mortar stores. That's how you get into this program. And you're effectively, you're leasing an Xbox One until you're tired of playing an Xbox One.
Yeah.
So Kyle, what's your thoughts here?
It's weird. It's very weird that we're at a point where you can, like you said, lease a video game console. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, it is a great deal if you can't afford to buy everything, like, just straight.
Yeah.
Like, I believe it comes with 2 years of Xbox Gold, right? And 2 years of Game Pass. So right there is a pretty, it's a great deal. For if you get the X, it's $35 a month, which is insane.
Yeah, it's for 2 years that amounts to, I think it's $420 for the 2 years. So I mean, it is an incredible deal.
Yeah, it's the fact that you're asking if PlayStation offer a program like it. I could see they might be following in the footsteps, but what happens when they get the Xboxes back and they're beat to shit?
That's my question. So, like, Sean Capri is over here. He's doing a victory lap. Like, this is going to be the second coming. This is amazing.
Because we both have worked at GameStop before. We've seen the conditions of people trading in consoles, and they've, at least in my eyes, they're filthy. Cockroaches inside of it, like the smoky rings, the reeking of smoke and dust collecting. Like, why would the stores accept it back and not have like a insane charge to clean?
That's the question:
or
is what's the stipulations?
Yeah,
this sounds great on paper. What are the stipulations? Because we've worked at GameStop.
Yeah.
Do these consoles come back? Do they get recertified? Because guess what? We used to work at GameStop.
Yeah.
We've been through recertified systems. I tell this to everybody. I tell this absolutely anybody buying a console. Never buy a used console. Never. It's never going to work out for you. Now, you may be some exceptions out there. But for me, seeing consoles that I didn't want to take back, but my boss made me to. More times than I could count. So right off the bat, are these certified refurbished? Have these come back? Are these brand spanking new? What happens
like
after the first
when you
wave?
go to the store and you want to sign up for this deal, are you getting a brand new Xbox or are you getting one that it was already handed in or handed back?
Because I'm going to tell you something gross. Like, even think about this. There is no way you're getting there's not going to be some type of fee attached just because of how people treat their controllers. Controllers break down over time. The rubber gets worn out and beaten over time. What are the stipulations? That's what everybody seems to forget. Everybody's running around like this is a victory. This is great for the consumers, and it might be, but I'm not sold on it because the one thing
on paper it's a huge victory.
Yeah,
for people who can't afford to buy it with whatever they have in their paycheck or in their bank account. Like, sure, 20-something bucks a month, you get a brand new Xbox and access to a ton of games right away. Yeah, that sounds fantastic.
And like there was a lot of discussion over at the MUB Xbox Discord where we were talking about it, and a lot of people were mixed. Like, it was even people who are Xbox people, not PlayStation people, going like, yeah, like, what are the stipulations? And then the other argument, well, what if I'm a dad with a kid and a wife and they're nagging me all the time? My life is miserable. I hate it. I just want to be the Master Chief. I want to forget about this dumb kid. What if there's that guy that exists, but he can't afford an Xbox? This is their way in?
Yeah.
But then my question is there an audience large enough to sustain that? How many Microsoft stores do we know in my area? I'm in the metro area, so I think this works out for me. I think 2 within like a 40-minute drive.
I can't think of any out by me.
Yeah, you're in a more rural area, so like
Yeah.
this is not what to me personally, looking at this, and yes, I'm an Sony pony, so take that as you may be. This doesn't excite me. This doesn't do anything for me. And if this was going to be the next thing in video games, PC Richard and Son would be around still.
There's one in my town.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe it is working out after all. But seriously, like it's not like Australia where I knew a couple of Aussies. Oi, governor! We knew a lot of Aussies down there that like renting electronics is a big plus because the tax on electronics is just so crazy. Mm-hmm. So they just rent them instead. The market for North America, the market for, I assume Canada and Europe is much, much smaller than I think a lot of people are giving this credit for. I actually don't see this being so successful. For me, if I was Shu, I don't need to do this. The market shows I don't need to do this. We're going to have over 90 million units sold by March of next year. We're fine. We don't need this program.
Yeah.
Also, you need to be Dell. You need a Dell preferred account. Okay, weird.
Well, now, if you were Shu, would you look at this and be like, is this a good way to get more people to dive into a PSVR? Like, if do the deal like that for a VR headset?
No, because to me, the same thing applies, right? Like, if someone put this on their dumb face, I don't want the acne.
I agree.
It's just that fear. So Antonio's full-blown question is, a world where the next PlayStation offers no interest financing similar to an Xbox All Access, do you think Sony PlayStation will follow suit in the future, or will Sony go all upfront cash for their hardware forever, no financing? It will be a good idea when PlayStation does it right, ? Mm-hmm. I just don't see them ever doing this.
Yeah.
I think leasing things makes sense if you're buying a car, and even that for me, I've always been taught you buy, you don't buy used, because that was someone else's problem, and you always buy, you never lease, because you don't own that lease, and they can always pick out something that they don't like, and they're gonna charge you for it. That's what I've been taught, so that's just how Daddy raised me, because Daddy raised no fool. Daddy raised no fool. So yeah, what do you think, Kyle?
I agree. It's just simply put, it's like we said, it's a great idea on paper, but there's a lot of stuff that we don't know yet, and it could be a lot of like, hey, gotcha, you owe us a ton of money now. Yep.
All right, here's our next question by Tim Ulf. This is our last question, then we're going to get into some serious stuff. So first things first, Tim Ulf, here's my question for the show. Now that Spider-Man is on the cusp of releasing, if you were Shu, we're doing 2 back-to-back.
What?
What is the next big game that you're going to promote the living crap out of? And with that, is there anything coming out that can be promoted as big as Spider-Man was? I think Red Dead. I think the Red Dead's your next push. Right after this, they're just like, and Red Dead now.
Yeah. I think when it comes to exclusives, it's going to be Days Gone. But I don't know if it'll be as big as Spidey is, because Spidey is huge.
Yeah.
Spidey transcends gaming. It's something that everyone knows. Mm-hmm. So they're going to try real hard with Days Gone.
I know 4 people buying a Spider-Man system who never owned a PlayStation.
Yeah.
Have no interest in gaming but Spider-Man.
I don't know what else can even come close, really.
I think The Last of Us. I think whatever Kojima's working, but I think Days Gone. I still don't know. I think this might be their next strike in terms of games that just should sell, but I don't know if it is because of that crowded. We got Anthem, we got. Anthem just alone.
Kingdom Hearts.
If I was you, I would push that game to about April, see where the cards fall, and I would start promoting that. Yeah. I think 2019 is Days Gone and why can I Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
I think those are their two big games. I do think at this point what we've seen on The Last of Us could be a PlayStation 4, but I think that's a PlayStation 4/5 game at this point. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I think. And now Kyle.
Yeah.
So guys, first and foremost, we didn't bring up the Madden shooting. We're going to right now. So if you're uncomfortable with it, if you don't think that this is the platform in which to talk about things like this, here's the time to leave. And thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. And I appreciate you. Go do that Spider-Man thing. All right?
Yeah.
But now we got to get into some serious stuff. So this happened over the weekend on Sunday. This comes from CNN. One man, again, thank you for watching. One of the men shot and killed at the gaming tournament in Jacksonville, Florida on Sunday had won the national tournament and the Madden Classic 2 years ago. The other was a former high school football player who loved to play the online version of his favorite sport and had won over $50,000 in his short gaming career. Both died in the shooting at the GLHF game bar on Sunday. They were attending a tournament for competitive players of the football video game Madden. The winners would go on to a higher level tournament in Las Vegas in October, where a large cash prize could have been won. It's been canceled now. The shooting left 10 injured from the gunman's shots. One of the person with a self-gunshot injury, that was the asshole who did this. Sheriff Mike Williams said the two victims was Elijah Clayton. He was 22 years old from Woodland Hills, California. The other was Taylor Robinson, 28 years old from Gales, West Virginia. So Kyle, why is it important to talk about something like this? Why is it important to talk about things like this on a video game? I understand they were at a tournament, but this has nothing to do with video games, right, Kyle?
No.
Why not?
It's I don't know. It just so happened to take place at a video game thing, and I can already kind of see it happening where I know some of the news places out by me are trying to spin this as it's the video game's fault, and video games breed violent people, and which is most definitely not the case. It's trying to detract from what the real issue is, which is gun control and the legislation in this country that allows people to be able to buy these unneeded weapons, in my eyes. And I'm sorry if you don't agree with it. It's okay if we don't agree with it, but I am so sick and tired of seeing this shit.
Yeah. It's weird. So I pulled up a quote, oddly enough, from Spider-Man. Why did I talk about this on a video game podcast? Because when you can do the things I can, but you don't, and the bad things happen, they happen because of you. When you have a platform, no matter if you're speaking to 2 people, 3 people, 3,000 people, 3 million people, you have a power, and that power is your voice. And that's also your responsibility, whether you want that responsibility or not. So this thing happened, and we already have people on both sides arguing this, that, and the other thing. I already see people on the left who are demonizing video games. This is the true culprit. Video games, their culture, they breed violence, and it's only a matter of time that they would do this. right? That type of bullshit nonsense for people who just want to fearmonger to make a point so that they could walk away happy and their crowd could walk away like they tried to do something. Then you have the other people, let's be honest with each other, they're going to hold that Second Amendment right until their kids die. And then it'll matter to them, right? The right to bear arms and all that bullshit, right? It's only going to affect them until they're actually affected. And they're going to be like, can't take away my guns when we're not saying to. There's going to be an argument for mental health. There is going to be an argument for gun control. But the sad thing, the sad reality of it, is that none of those things will actually happen. There will be nothing that will get done for mental illness. There will be nothing that gets done for gun violence and gun safety and gun regulation. There will be none of those things. We're so polarized, we don't know how to start a conversation. So, today, I'm going to teach you something. If you are a Second Amendment guy or gal, hear the other side out. And don't tell them how they're wrong, but help build knowledge of how firearms work and why you do need some type of checks and balances or whatever your opinion may lead. And if you're not a type of gun owner and you don't know much about weapons and whatever the case may be, like many Americans are, go in with an open ear, listen to those people out, and ask questions. And then once you ask each other questions, there can be true compromise. There can be true change. And then things like this won't happen as much. 11 people were injured, 2 of which are dead. And those 2 families will not see their sons. Understand whatever political point you're trying to make is moot when you just go out and insult people. When you go out there to try to make a martyr of yourself somehow. You do no one favors. So what I'm asking
just think about those 2 people who traveled great distances to participate in something that they love, and now they can't anymore.
Think about those people who there was a tweet, and it was a son's backpack with blood spatter on it. It goes, this was my son's backpack. This is his blood when he was shot. This is important because we as gamers need to do what I just said to everyone else. Show games like Journey. Show these artistic games like show them Donut County. Show them Block
for sure.
Show them I was thinking of the Swan game. Help me out here.
Unfinished Swan?
Unfinished Swan. Show them those games. Show
Abzu.
Abzu. Show them what games are. Don't just give them the 30-second clip of something taken without context. Show them why games are beautiful, why they're an art form. Show them movie clips that are unawkward. Yeah. Show them TV shows that are violent and say, why don't these breed violence, but this does? And usually they don't have an answer to that. That's how I educated my parents. That's how I educate people who don't understand video games. I show them what can be truly remarkable about video games. Kyle, do you mind if I close out the show?
No, go ahead.
This is a list, and I got this from Business Insider, and it goes all the way until Jesus Christ, June 28th. I'm going to read out towns who have been affected by gun violence, by mass shootings. Huntsville, Berkeley, Hattiesburg, Plantation, Union Springs, St. Robert, Nashville, Madison, Iwata, Alcula, York, Washington, Chicago, Orlando, Benton, Philadelphia, Washington, Bowling Green, Los Angeles, Indianapolis, Mycroft, Reading, St. Louis, Cleveland, Colorado Springs, Lake Worth, Paintsville, Detroit, New Orleans, Parkland, Oklahoma City, Memphis, Kansas City, San Antonio, Palm Beach Gardens, Detroit, Bridgeport, Brooklyn, Miami, Rockford, Hurtsboro, Wadesboro, Saginaw, South Bend, Champaign, Modesto, McInerney, Harvey, Louisville, San Francisco, Salt Lake City, Camden, Planto, Asbury, San Juan, again, Jesus, Mobile, Houston, New Orleans, Virginia Beach, Jacksonville, Miami, Hickory, Valgino, I'm sorry, I butchered that one, Shreveport, Asheville, San Francisco, Philadelphia, New Orleans, Ain't Notch, Flint, St. Louis, Pine Bluff, Maxton, West Palm Beach, Monroe, Seattle, Wartburg, Washington, Pimano Beach, New Orleans, Brooklyn, Minneapolis, Chicago, Chicago Heights, Henderson, Columbus, Memphis, Stillwater, San Diego, St. Louis, Omaha, St. Louis, Tahania, Paulsboro, Omaha, Los Angeles, Bahia. That one I butchered, guys. My bad. Stockton, Baltimore, Ponder, Santa Fe, Hazelhurst, Anderson, Cincinnati, Aurora, Shreveport, Timotownsville. That's an excellent fucking name. Omaha, Buffalo. I'm sorry, I'm trying to bring light. Dallas, Chicago, Jacksonville again, Boston, Kensington, Philadelphia, Indianapolis, Brandonport, Bloomington, Valley Village, Aurora, Chicago, Montgomery, Orlando, Bronx, Philadelphia, Tracy, Hayward, Buffalo, Westminster, Trenton. That was a couple miles away from my house. Charlotte, Macon, Chicago, Bloomington, Chicago again, Huntsville, Modesto, San Bernardino, Morganza, Chicago, Homestead, Wichita, Lumberton, Chicago, Stanford, Punta Gorda, Indiatown, Palm Beach Gardens, Gary, Sandusky, Chicago, San Antonio, Hartford, Oakland, Annapolis. I was at a gaming convention last weekend. My mom, when she heard the news Sunday, she said something that shook me. That could have been you. This wasn't a big gathering. This wasn't something huge. I would like to think that it couldn't have been me, but it could. Some people ask, this is why I'm afraid to go out. Don't. Prove you're wrong. The list I gave you should worry you. It should concern you. We've had almost as many mass shootings as there have been days this year. If this worries you, then go out and do something. That has been the Trophy Room. This is a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players. And what I need to do and say before I let you all go is go to a loved one, go to a friend, hug them, tell them you love them. And when they go, "What the fuck are you doing? Get off of me." Before they can say that, just say, "I love you and I don't want to take this moment for granted." Because you never know what could happen. But until then, fight for actual change. Fight to educate and fight to love. As much as that sounds really weird. Everybody, I love you.
Love you too, Joe.
About you.